For the first 2 months of my personal brand, I gave productivity advice while working 12-hour days. I taught time management, and that's what I preached, while I missed family dinners. I showed how you need a work-life balance while I burned myself out. In this video, I'll show you why following your own advice is harder than giving it, and the simple system that finally made me practice what I preach. Here's what nobody talks about. There's a massive difference between knowing what works and actually doing what works. Most experts are great at teaching systems they don't consistently use themselves. The breakthrough comes when you design systems specifically for your own resistance patterns, not just ideal scenarios. In my email series, 21 Days to Products That Pay, there's a implementation reality check that helps you identify where your advice breaks down in your own life. Get it below because I'll show you exactly how to bridge the gap between what you know and what you actually do. Let me show you how ridiculous my situation was. Here's what I taught. Work in 60-minute focus blocks, take regular breaks, protect your energy. And here's what I actually did. Work from 4 a.m. to 6 p.m., skip meals if you have to, say yes to everything. I was literally the worst student of my own teachings. The wake-up call came during a client call. I was teaching someone about setting boundaries while simultaneously responding to Slack messages. Mid-sentence, I realized I was giving advice I wasn't following. So that night, I asked myself the hard question. If I hired me as a coach, would I fire me for not following my own program? The answer was clear. Yes. And here's why smart people don't follow their own advice. We optimize for others, not ourselves. And I designed systems assuming perfect conditions, but my real life had interruptions, had emotions, and had chaos. We know too much. I kept tweaking the system instead of using it. So perfect became the enemy of good enough. And we don't treat ourselves like clients. I was gentle, patient, understanding with my clients, but brutal with myself. And on the other side of that, I was actually making excuses for myself that I'd never accept from anyone else. Here's how I redesigned my approach. Instead of perfect 60-minute blocks, I actually did a more flexible 25-minute chunks and with interruption buffers. I actually included how the week looks different, the month looks different, instead of every day being exactly the same. Instead of never check email after 6 p.m. to be more reality-based, it's having the last email check at 6:15 and then put your phone away. Or instead of complete daily review every evening, it's more reality-based, a 5-minute review while morning coffee brews, looking at the previous day. So I decided to become my own guinea pig. For 30 days, I would follow my own advice exactly as I gave it to clients. In the first week, I failed. I lasted 2 days before breaking my own rules. And I realized my advice was too rigid for real life. In the second week, I adjusted for reality. I added emergency protocols for when things went wrong, and I built in flexibility without abandoning the system entirely. And in the third week, it became about building momentum. I started actually using the tools I recommended, and I felt what my clients felt when systems worked and when they broke. In the fourth week, I experienced a little bit of breakthrough. I was working fewer hours, but getting better results. And I finally understood why my clients succeeded or failed. Here's what emerged from practicing what I preach: the 3 reality principle. There's a constraint reality where you need to work with your actual time and energy and not ideal amounts. Very important. There's an interruption reality. Plan for chaos. Don't pretend it won't happen. So there needs to be space in your schedule and in your day. Motivation reality. Designed for low motivation days, not peak performance days. Before, I might have told myself that, oh yeah, I'll knock out 4 hours of filming in one day for the month ahead. In reality, I could probably get an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours before feeling some sense of fatigue. So here's my current system, the one that I actually follow. Everybody's schedule is different, but for me, the first thing I do in the morning is a creation block. Then I check in with the family and I get breakfast, coffee, whatever I need to continue. And then I work with a client if I have one scheduled. If I don't, then I'm building. After that, I'm doing some administration work. Could be checking emails, checking analytics, making sure all my videos are up, or looking at bank accounts, back-end stuff, that sort of thing. And at the end, it's just a quick review, looking at the day ahead, what I need to get done in the following week, and setting up everything so that there's no surprises. When I did this, I actually improved my client satisfaction. I had more freedom, and I was able to actually get more work done in the 4 hours that I've allotted for myself to do work. And because I had boundaries, I put work away, I was able to get better sleep, and I stopped feeling like a fraud when I was teaching. So here's what I learned. You can't teach transformation that you haven't experienced or you're not testing actively yourself. My clients and your clients need someone who understands the real challenges of implementing your system, not just the theory itself, but the reality. And when I started living my own advice, my teaching became more honest about difficulties, my systems became more robust and flexible, and my clients trusted me more because I got it and I experienced it. So by personally pushing yourself through the ringer, you improve your teaching effectiveness. When you teach from experience, you show credibility, empathy, and practicality. When you practice what you preach, every piece of advice carries real weight. And by doing this implementation reality check, it helps you find the gaps between your advice and your actions, or what you're telling people to do and what's actually happening on the back end. So sign up for 21 Days to Products That Pay and get that reality check and start practicing what you preach, because your authenticity is your greatest teaching asset. And once you're living your own advice authentically, you need to understand why some entrepreneurs build fortune with laser focus while others struggle with scattered efforts. Check out this video to see why.